Hello and welcome to Console and Tech Accessories, and on today's video I've got a pair of controllers from a UK company called Gioteck. Now you may have heard of them as they are very popular in a shop called Argos, which is a high street shop here in the UK. And when they contacted me to ask me if I'd look at a couple of the products, I jumped at the chance. So I've been using the WX-4 and the VX-4 controllers for the Switch and the PS4 respectively over the past few weeks, and they are exactly what you'd expect. I can already safely tell you that these controllers can be put in the category of solid spare controllers. In this video, I'm going to go over them both and show you that these are perfect if you don't want to be spending huge amounts of cash on official controllers for either the PS4 or the Nintendo Switch systems. So join me as we take a closer look at the VX4 and the WX4 controllers on the PS4 and Nintendo Switch, and they're both from Gioteck. Hello, welcome down onto the tech desk, and as I said in the introduction, I've got two products for you today, both from Gioteck, and we have here the WX4, which is a Nintendo Switch controller, and over here we have the VX4 for the PlayStation 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to break this video down into two parts. So first of all, we're going to look at this, the PlayStation 4 controller, then we're going to flick over and go through all the features on this one, the Nintendo Switch version. Now, if you want to skip forward to this one, do have a look, there'll be timestamps down there. Go and click that so you can go straight to this one. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this one, the VX4 for the PlayStation 4. Okay, so as you saw in the unboxing, it comes with a box and it comes with a micro USB cable and some instructions. And what we're going to do is just going to go over it and I'll tell you a few of the features as well. And as I said as well, it's just a very nice solid controller that is cheaper than the DS4. So the DS4 you're looking at around £50. Well, you can get this in Argos now for around £30. It's just perfect for a spare controller, I think. It's well built, solidly made. I've kept it very nice. I've been playing this now for the past couple of weeks and it's performed very, very well. It's been perfectly solid. The way you connect it to your console is you plug it into the micro USB there into your PS4 and it connects pretty much straight away. I have tested with this PS5 and it can confirm it does work with the PS5, so if you wanted a spare controller for your PS5, but again, as with all PlayStation 4 controllers, it will only work with the backwards compatible games. So if you're going to stick it on Returnal or anything that's made for the PS5, it won't work, but everything else for the PS4, not a problem at all. Okay, so going over it then, it's plastic all the way around, nice kind of like matte plastic, and then it's got this smooth, shiny, glossy bits on the end there. And on the top we have the D-pad there, share options and the touchpad, the speaker, home, turbo, and symmetrical thumbsticks. On the button there, 3.5mm to stick your headphones in there. The buttons here, which are really nice, triangle, square, X and O in the kind of like a nice dotted pattern. The triggers on the top. Now these triggers here are nice, so that's kind of almost like a digital feel, and this one has more of an analog, but there's kind of like two stops to it. So you have like first one there, it kind of stops, and then there's a bit of tension for it to go there. But that registers like that if it's for a digital game, but if you want the extra for analog version, you can kind of push it down, but that is kind of registering it. And they're nice and long as well, so your fingers rest on these really nicely. And then on the bottom there, beautiful, we have a couple of paddles. I'm all up for paddles on controllers. So you can set these to be any kind of like the face buttons or the triggers as well, which is really good. Here, these are the kind of your set buttons. So that's kind of like an on-off to set these to. So you switch it to on, and if you don't want to set them accidentally, so you can switch to off. So you turn it on, you hold down the set button, you hold down the button you want it to be mapped, and then you press one of these and it maps it to it. So you can have any of these buttons if you want it on the trigger. And they're in a nice position as well. So if I'm holding it, it will stay on my middle finger there. You don't accidentally press it. You have to give it a bit of force and then it clicks. So it's decent. So you're not going to accidentally press it. It's nice. Now the D-pad here, it's okay. The D-pad, it's a bit spongy, but I didn't have a problem with it. It kind of pushes in. It doesn't click. It kind of pushes in. And the thumbsticks feel great. This is probably the best bit for me. The thumbsticks were really good. There's enough tension for me playing like first-person shooters, like Overwatch and games, but not enough for it to be an ache after a while. So I played this for a long time, and they feel really good. Okay, so if you're after a decent thumbsticks, these are the ones for you, because I don't have a problem with these at all. And when you click in, it feels a little bit hollow, but it's okay. I mean, it's okay, what you expect for like I keep saying, I keep going back to being a £30 controller. I think it's decent and solid. And the buttons, they feel great. They feel like just normal buttons, really. They're not clicky, but they just kind of press in. And I do like that design on there. I think that makes it look quite smart. And on the 3.5, I used it with a kind of like a Havoc pair of gaming headphones. It depends on the headphones for the quality on here. The chat was fine, but that probably dependent on the headphone rather than this. And it was good enough for me. Plugging that in, listening to it, I didn't have a problem at all. Okay, so the usual functions, it has motion, it has vibration, the touchpad works okay, the 3.5, and it also has turbo as well. I don't use turbo too much, but you can do if you want to. You hold down the turbo button and then it will do turbo any of these buttons, and it will flash numbers per second. Now, battery life, I can't find anywhere of how long it works for, but it takes about 3 hours to charge up, and I'll be honest with you, it never ran out. Of all the times that I was using it, it never ran out. I just kept playing and playing, and then when I didn't want to play, I just stopped and I just let it charge out. I never had it go flat on me, and there's a little LED in there just to show you that when it's charging, when you plug it in there. Okay, so that's it really. It's a really decent controller. I think if you're looking for a spare controller for a PlayStation 4 or even a PlayStation 5, I think this is a really good one. I'll leave links down below where you can get hold of this. Certainly my kids are going to be having this, because I don't want them to have to be forking out. If they're ever going to break a PlayStation 4 controller at 50 quid, I can't afford to keep replacing that. This is a definite, like I keep saying, in the solid spare controller category. And with these paddles, I think it's really, really nice. Okay, so there we go then. That was the VX-4. Any questions on this, let me know down in the comments below. And what we're going to do now is we're going to flick over and we're going to be having a look at the Nintendo Switch version of the WX-4. So here we have it then. This is the WX-4 for the Nintendo Switch by Gioteck. This is in the camo colour. They do a couple of other colours, but I decided to go for camo. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over it, over all the buttons and all the features and stuff, and then we're going to jump onto the Switch, and we're just going to show you a few of the features of the Switch, because it's a bit easier to show you kind of like the sticks and if there's any drift or if there's any lag or anything on the Switch than there was on the PS4. Okay, so here it is then, asymmetrical design, as with most Switch controllers, and it's kind of like this matte, it's plastic all the way around, but it's kind of got this matte plastic apart from these bits here, which are kind of gloss, just to set it off, and a bit of gloss up the top there. And the sticks, asymmetrical as we said, the D-pad here, plus and minus, home, screenshot, X, Y, A and B, micro USB, L1, R1, L2 and R2, and then on the back, brilliant, couple of paddles. And then this is the switch to set the paddles. So you set and the on-off switch for the paddles, and I'll talk about that in a bit. Okay, so going over it then, let's talk about the thumbsticks first. These feel nice. Again, as with the VX-4, these are great. There's enough tension for them to be able to get fine movements and to pull back on it, but not enough for it to ache. So I've been using this now for a couple of weeks and they feel great. These are really, really nice thumbsticks. And when you push them in, yeah, it feels a bit hollow, a bit of a hollow click, but you kind of expect that. This controller costs £20, so you can get it from Argos for £20. It's probably around £20–25, and that's half the price, less than half the price of a Pro controller. D-pad, brilliant. Okay, D-pads we've said are a personal preference, but I'm going to stick my neck out on this one. I love this D-pad. It's very clicky, and I do like to feel a bit of feedback when I get on the D-pad. So on the VX4, the D-pad was okay, there wasn't much feedback on it. This is brilliant. I really do like this one. There's a definite feedback when you do up, down, left and right. Excellent. And then the buttons in here, they feel okay. They just feel like regular buttons, really, all of these. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a Pro controller and these buttons, if I'm honest. There was no lag at all when I was using the thumbsticks and the buttons. No problems at all when using any of these face buttons. And I said the 4 LEDs there for your players and your battery. Micro USB on the top and the triggers. Okay, so these are digital triggers, these top ones. And then these ones are also, with the switch is digital anyway, but I'm saying these are kind of analog because you can push it in. So that registers the press, okay? So that would mean that I've pressed L2, like that. But you can also go a bit further if you needed to, like that. So that would be for other systems if you're going to connect it to kind of like a PC, you know, analog like that. But that will register it, so it's not too bad. And they're nice and long and big as well. And they're kind of curved, so your fingers sit on there really nicely. And then on the back, as we've already seen, we've got a couple of paddles, absolutely fantastic. So we have an on-off switch, so you set it to on, you hold down the set, and then this LED starts flashing, and then when that's flashing, you know you're in set mode, and you kind of press A, and then press that one, and that will mean that is A, or any of the face buttons or triggers to any of these. And as with the VX4, it's a nice placement for it, really nice placement for it for this finger, and you have to press this one quite hard for it to go in, but there's a really satisfying click. So you're not going to accidentally press it, but you do need to press it in quite a bit, but it's fine. It's a really nice click. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Okay, so the way you connect it with your switch, it was, the VX4 was dead easy. All you do is plug it into the PS4. With this one, if you wanted to set it up wirelessly, all you do is controllers. I've already got it connected, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disconnect it. Okay, so it's disconnected now. All you do is hold down Y and home, and then these LEDs start flashing like that, and then you wait for it to pair onto the switch. Okay, mine took probably 10-15 seconds. There we go, so it's paired now, and then you press A and we've paired it. So what I want to do first is I just want to see, does it wake up the switch? Okay, so let's turn it off. Okay, we know that this is off, and the way to pair it, if it's already been paired, what you do is hold down home and it will start flashing there. So if you hold down home, it starts flashing there, and let's wait for it to wake up the switch. Keep waiting. Keep waiting. Okay, I've had enough. Right. No, if I turn it on like that, there we go, it's connected. Okay, so safely say it doesn't wake up the switch. Let's just try that again. So if we've got it both off, hold down home for it to do, pressing all the buttons. Is it doing anything? No, not doing anything. As soon as you turn it on, there we go, it's connected. Okay, so this won't wake up the switch. Let's go into our old favorite settings, controllers and sensors, and then if we do test input devices, test controller buttons, I didn't have a problem at all. Now if we come out of there and we go up here to calibrate control sticks, and I'm going to click the left one. There we go. Look, there's no drift, as I wouldn't expect after a couple of weeks, but we can get that, and I can fire up the angles easily all the way around. No dead zones at all. Okay, and then click on the right one. Again, I wouldn't expect any drift, no dead zones, no input lag. I think it's really nice. I can put it out to halfway easily, up easily, down easily. Okay, really nice. It has a couple of extra features as well. So you've got usual motion and vibration And it also has the turbo, as we've talked about. That's the turbo button there. I don't use turbo, but I know a lot of people do, so you can have a turbo button on there on any of the face buttons if you want to. And you can also adjust the rumble as well. So if you hold down the screenshot button and press up and down, it will increase or decrease the rumble, which is nice. The rumble's okay. It's not HD, but it's decent enough. What I have it on is I have it on the low rumble, and it actually feels quite nice with the low rumble. If I can get the rumble here, yeah, it's a nice subtle rumble. And as you can see, the motion control works, no problem at all. If I put it on here, because it will rumble. There we go. And if I can increase that by pressing the screenshot on up, there you go. And screenshot and down just to turn it down. And taking loads of screenshots. There you go. It just feels like a nice subtle. So I have it on the lowest rumble, so it's a really nice feel to it. The battery's okay. So when this is flashing, you know that the battery is low, so you need to plug it in, and it will flash until it's fully charged, then it will stop flashing. It takes around 2 or 3 hours charge, and it gets about 10 hours worth of charge out of it, which I think is about average for a third-party controller. Okay, as I've said with the other one, I think this is a solid controller. For around, you can get this currently at £20, so it's around 20 or £25 from Argos. Go and have a look at the links below. This is a solid controller for someone who wants something that they can't afford the Pro controller, because the Pro controller is a lot of money. There's a lot of decent controllers out there, and this is down at the bottom end of the pricing, and it's a decent, solid controller. I wouldn't have any problems recommending this. I've been using this for weeks now, and I've not had a problem at all. So there we have it then. That was my look at the Nintendo Switch and the PS4 and PS5 controller. Let me know what you think. At half the price of a Pro controller and half the price of an official PS4 controller, what do you think? I think, as I said in the intro, these are a solid pair of controllers for the spares if you don't want to be forking out for the official ones. So please do let me know. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of these two. Go and have a look. As I said, all the links for all of these products will be in the description below. Stick a thumbs up, do subscribe if you're new around here, and until the next video, I've been Console and Tech Accessories. Bye bye.